Are you dreaming of a garden this fall, but the thought of another dry season is giving you pause? You are definitely not alone. So many of us put in all the work, only to watch our plants struggle with spotty rain and that lingering, scorching fall heat. It's so frustrating to see your plants wilting and all that effort seemingly go to waste. It makes you wonder if a beautiful, productive garden is even in the cards when the weather is just so unpredictable. But what if I told you that you could have a thriving fall garden that sips water instead of guzzling it? That you could be harvesting deep into the cool months without constantly worrying about the next rainfall? Well, you can. Today, I'm going to show you exactly which drought-proof vegetables you can plant right now for a successful, low-water garden that will reward you with an incredible bounty. Before we get to our list of water-wise warriors, let's talk about why fall is such a fantastic and often overlooked season for gardening, especially when you're trying to save water. The magic is really in the timing. As that intense summer heat finally starts to fade, the air cools down. This is a huge sigh of relief for our plants. It reduces their stress, and more importantly, means less precious water is lost to evaporation. Meanwhile, the soil is still warm from the summer sun, which is the perfect recipe for getting seeds to sprout and helping young plants establish deep, strong roots, fast. And the cherry on top? Most of those annoying summer pests have packed it in for the year, meaning less pressure on your crops, cooler air, warm soil, and fewer pests. It's the perfect setup for a climate-smart, low-effort garden. You just have to choose the right players for the team. So, let's meet them. Here are my top drought-tolerant vegetables you can plant right now for an amazing fall harvest. First up, let's talk about leafy greens that can take the heat and just keep on giving. Now, leafy greens might not scream drought-tolerant, but trust me, these specific varieties are incredibly tough. Swiss chard is the undisputed champion of the resilient garden. It's an absolute workhorse, tolerating both heat and cool weather, which makes it perfect for that late summer into fall transition. While it's happiest and most tender with consistent water, once it's established, it's surprisingly tough during dry spells. So what makes it so resilient? Swiss chard grows a deep taproot that can hunt for moisture far below the surface, a trick many other greens just don't have. It simply keeps producing, even when the conditions aren't perfect. For a fall crop, look for varieties like Ford Hook Giant or the beautiful rainbow chard, and plant them about 40 days before your first expected frost. To give them a water-wise head start, mix a few inches of compost into your soil before planting. A layer of mulch around the base is a total game changer too. You can harvest the outer leaves all season long, and the plant will just keep making new ones from the center. Next up is kale, specifically heat-tolerant varieties like Cavolo Nero, which you might also know as Tuscan or lacinato kale. This variety comes from Tuscany in Italy, a hot, dry region, so it's naturally built for tough conditions. Its gorgeous, bumpy leaves have a waxy coating that acts like a natural sunblock, reflecting sunlight and preventing the plant from losing too much water. And it's not just a hunch. Studies have shown that kale is more tolerant of drought and temperature swings than many of its relatives in the cabbage family. While it absolutely loves cool weather, its flavor gets even sweeter after a light frost. It's remarkably durable during those random hot fall days. For a fall harvest, you can plant kale seeds 8 to 10 weeks before your first frost. Just like chard, it will thank you for soil enriched with compost and a thick blanket of mulch. By harvesting just the outer leaves, you can keep the plant going well into the winter in many climates. There are even perennial types like Homesteader's kaleidoscopic grex that can give you harvests for years once they're established. All right, let's move underground. Root vegetables are a fantastic choice for a water-wise garden because their whole game plan is to grow a deep, strong root that can mine the soil for every last drop of water and nutrients. Beets are an amazing cool season crop that can be surprisingly resilient when things get dry. They're related to Swiss chard, and you can see the family resemblance in the waxy coating on their leaves that helps reduce water loss. But more importantly, that main taproot is designed to drive deep into the soil, searching for moisture that other, shallower-rooted plants can't hope to reach. Now, consistent water will give you the most tender roots, but they can handle dry periods once they get going. For a fall crop, plant your beet seeds about 6 to 8 weeks before your first frost. Heirloom varieties like Bull's Blood or Detroit Dark Red are known for being particularly tough. A key tip for growing beets in dry soil is to make sure it's loose and not compacted. That way, the taproot can grow straight down without a struggle. And don't forget, you can eat the beet greens. They're delicious and just as nutritious as chard. Carrots are another root veggie powerhouse. Their entire survival strategy is that long taproot, designed to push deep into the earth looking for water. This makes them naturally more drought-resistant than a lot of other vegetables. To get a fall harvest that will be unbelievably sweet, because cool weather concentrates their sugars, plant your carrot seeds about 10 to 12 weeks before your first frost. The real secret to success here is soil prep. Carrots need loose, sandy, or loamy soil without any rocks or hard clumps. This lets their roots grow down straight and deep. If you've got heavy clay, think about using a raised bed or really mixing in a lot of compost to lighten it up. By watering deeply but less often, you'll actually train the roots to grow even deeper, making the plant tougher in the long run. Look no further than radishes. Their biggest advantage in a dry garden is their speed. Many varieties are ready to harvest in under 30 days. That super fast growth cycle means they just don't need water for a very long time. You can sow radish seeds every couple of weeks all through the fall for a continuous supply. They're perfect for filling in little gaps in the garden. Because they mature so fast, a sudden dry spell is less likely to affect them. Plant them about 6 to 8 weeks before the first frost and try to keep the soil lightly moist for the best texture. But even if it gets a little dry, they'll still produce. They might just have an extra spicy, peppery kick to them. We're already halfway through our list, and I hope you're feeling more excited about your fall garden possibilities. If you're finding this helpful, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and click the subscribe button to stay in touch with all our great gardening tips. It truly helps the channel get this info out to more gardeners who want to build beautiful, resilient gardens just like you. And stick around because we still have some of the most impressive and surprising water sippers to talk about. So this last category has a few plants that are absolute masters of dry conditions. And, a couple of these might even surprise you. These are the true specialists of the low water garden. If there was an award for most drought-tolerant vegetable, tepary beans would be a front-runner, hands down. These beans are native to the southwestern US and Mexico, and they're honestly legendary for their ability to thrive in scorching heat and desert-like conditions. They're without a doubt one of the most drought and heat-tolerant crops on the planet. Their survival skills are just incredible. Tepary beans grow up fast, send roots down deep, and can even produce viable pollen in temperatures over 105 degrees Fahrenheit, something most other beans can only dream of. And get this, they actually produce better with a little water stress. If you overwater them, you'll end up with a smaller harvest. So, tepary beans are traditionally planted during the summer monsoons, which means you can actually plant them in late summer for a fall harvest. Just put the seeds in well-draining soil, give them a good watering to get them started, and then, back off a bit. Only water them when the plants start to look visibly thirsty. In as little as 60 to 90 days, you'll be harvesting a protein-packed food source that's grown in some of the toughest conditions out there. Garlic is honestly a brilliant choice for the fall garden, and it's easily one of the most low-maintenance, water-wise crops you can grow. You plant garlic in the fall, and then it spends the cool, wet winter and spring developing this super robust root system. By the time the drier, warmer weather shows up, the plant is totally established and can handle dry spells like a champ. Hardneck porcelain varieties in particular have a reputation for performing really well in dry conditions. The perfect time to plant is in the fall, just a few weeks before your ground is expected to freeze. All you need to do is plant the individual cloves in well-drained soil and then cover them with a thick layer of mulch. That mulch will protect them through the winter, hold in moisture, and keep weeds down in the spring. After that, it's pretty much a hands-off crop until you're harvesting those amazing garlic bulbs next summer. Okay, choosing the right plants is a huge step, but you can make any plant more drought-tolerant by creating the right environment. These 3 strategies will dramatically cut down your garden's water needs, no matter what you're growing. First, build your soil with organic matter. This is honestly the single most important thing you can do. Adding organic matter, especially really good compost, is like giving your soil a sponge. It improves the soil's structure so it can absorb water deep down instead of letting it run off. Then, it holds onto that moisture for much longer, making it available to your plant's roots right when they need it. Before you plant anything this fall, try to work 2 to 4 inches of compost into the top 6 inches of your soil. Mulch, and then mulch some more. If compost is the sponge, then mulch is the lid that keeps the sponge from drying out. Spreading a thick 2 to 4 inch layer of organic mulch, like shredded leaves, straw, or wood chips, is a total game changer. Mulch shades the soil, keeping it cool and drastically cutting down on evaporation. It also smothers weeds that are competing for the same water and nutrients your veggies need. As a bonus, that mulch will slowly break down and feed your soil over time. Never leave your soil bare. Water deeply and infrequently. I know this can sound a little backward, but it's essential for training your plants to be tough. Instead of giving them a light sprinkle every day, water your garden deeply and thoroughly, but less often. This forces your plants to send their roots searching down deep for water, instead of hanging around near the surface where the soil dries out in a flash. A plant with a deep root system is so much more resilient during a dry spell. Using a soaker hose or drip irrigation is a great way to get water right to the roots where it's needed. And always check the soil first. If it's still moist a few inches down, you can wait. A beautiful, abundant fall garden is totally within your reach, even when drought is a concern. The secret isn't about fighting the weather, it's about making smart choices and working with nature. By choosing tough, resilient vegetables like Swiss chard, deep-rooted carrots, and the incredible tepary bean, and then backing them up with healthy soil, a protective layer of mulch, and smart watering habits, you can create a thriving, low-water oasis. You can have a garden that's not only productive, but also sustainable and resilient, giving you fresh, homegrown food long after the summer garden is a distant memory. Don't let the fear of a dry season hold you back. You've got the knowledge and the tools to make it happen. I hope this guide has inspired you to get out there and plant your own climate-smart fall garden. I would love to know, what's your favorite drought-tolerant vegetable? Or which one from this list are you most excited to try? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next videos on building amazing soil and stretching your growing season even further. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.